Hello, Too Cool Stamping friends. Here we are again with our live class, just like we do every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So today, I have a really fun class. If you like whimsical characters, if you love to color, then this class is going to be great for you. You're going to love the stamp set. You know, usually I try to focus on a lot of bundles. I focus on a lot of suites. But sometimes you have to just take a really good hard look at some of the individual stamp sets in our mini catalog and our annual catalog. And one of those that really hit me was the Gnome for the Holidays stamp set. I have to admit, now, those of you who have been with me for a while know I don't do a lot of whimsical. I just very rarely do whimsical, but sometimes something strikes me and it's really, really cute. And I think that the Gnome for the Holidays stamp set is super adorable. So I never have been into gnomes. I don't know if anybody out there, I don't know if it's like you love them or hate them. I typically am not a fan of gnomes, but I saw some projects with this cute set and I really fell in love with it. So I'm having a whole new opinion of gnomes. If you're not a big fan of gnomes, maybe you will also be a convert. Who knows? If you already love gnomes, you're gonna love this. So we have some projects today. We have several cards, a gift card holder, super cute, quick and easy gift card holder you will not want to miss. That'll be our final project. We're going to be doing a lot of coloring today. I did some pre-coloring because it takes a long time, but I do want to show you a lot of coloring on the first card because hopefully if you've never tried Stampin' Blends markers, you're going to see how awesome they are and you'll want to purchase them in all of the colors because they just are so phenomenal and versatile. So we'll be doing some of that. Before I get to that, I wanted to just remind you that we have our designer series paper sale going on right now. 15 different styles of designer series paper are on sale through the end of the month for 15% off. Now, several of our projects today are going to be using designer series paper and we'll be featuring two different sale priced papers. One is the Heartwarming Hugs, which I love because it's traditional Christmas colors and beautiful patterns that you can use in all kinds of Christmas projects. And then the other one is Trimming the Town, which I don't even have anything else from that suite, but I did buy the designer series paper just to try it out because it has some awesome patterns and some fun colors for Christmas as well. So we'll be using those two today on our project. So don't forget, those are sale priced along with 13 other designer series papers for the month of October only. So you can go to my website, you can print out, there's a flyer there that has all of the different patterns and packs that you can get at the sale price. So you can print that out. You can shop at my website. If you just go to toocoolstamping.com and click now on the Shop Now link, or click on the Shop Now link, I don't know what I'm saying, then it'll take you to my online store. And you can see the awesome papers that are on sale. So not all of them, but there's a really nice selection. There's Halloween, if you still need to get some Halloween projects done. There's some beautiful autumn papers and a lot of Christmas papers. So it's really a great time for these papers to be on sale so you can really stock up. Okay, let's get to the projects because they're going to be so fun. I think you're going to really love them. So hold on a second. Close your eyes if you don't like the roller coaster. And I'm going to try to, let's see, we did a pretty good job of lining it up. I tried to get the camera just a teeny bit closer this time because we are doing a lot of coloring and I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So hopefully everything is going to be okay and we'll be able to get everything into the screen. So here is the stamp set that I'm talking about, Gnome for the Holidays. Some really cute characters. If you like gnomes, you're going to love this for sure. There's also some really cute punny type of sentiments here. There's no place like gnome for the Christmas season. You're a friend like gnome other. A little Christmas wish, and then holly jolly everything. So really cute sayings to go along with the adorable images. So we're going to do a lot of coloring like I mentioned. And we're gonna start out with our first card. Let me get the pieces real quick. And also, just a little behind the scenes, what's happening is I had to get my hair out of my face because I can't even see what I'm doing. My hair is getting so long. All right. Are you guys like not getting all the haircuts that you normally would get when there's a pandemic going on? That's kind of what's happening here. Anyway, okay, sorry for that side note. So we're gonna start out with a Whisper White thick card base, and most of my card bases are the traditional size, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just using a bone folder to give that a nice crisp crease. So there is our card base. We have some other pieces here. I've already pre-die cut. This is a 3 3/4 by 5 piece of Whisper White, and I've used the Stitched Shapes dies to cut out that window there, this opening. Again, I say it every time, if you don't have the Stitched Shapes dies, you really need to get them. They're the must-have die set in the catalog right now. So this is going to be a little window. You know I love the recessed windows. We're going to have that happening. So I have this piece here that's going to be a background piece, and I just realized that I, for some reason, don't have my one little piece of white. Hold on for 1 second. I'm going to grab that quick. It's pretty hard to stamp an image on nothing. So anyway, for some reason I forgot that already. Hey, we got that one little error out of the way right away. All right, we're gonna start out by, this card's gonna have a lot of coloring in it. We're gonna start with this really cute little tree stump image, and we're gonna stamp that in Memento Black. Remember, when we're doing alcohol-based markers and coloring, we want to stamp our main image in the water-based Memento ink. Whoops, that's upside down. We don't want that. All right, this is gonna go, let's say right about here. And this is gonna go show right through there. So we'll color that in, and we'll get a bunch of different markers here. While I have my ink pad out, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my gnome image as well. I love this little guy. He's carrying a little Christmas ornament. So let's stamp him over here on our scrap paper. Very good. All right, now we can put that Memento ink away so I don't put my hand in it. Okay. Then we have some coloring to do. So let's get started with that. So I'm starting out with, hopefully you guys can hear me okay, since I had to sit down a little bit here. So I'm going to start out by coloring the whole tree in Crumb Cake. And when I'm working with Stampin' Blends markers, I like to do light colors first, and I like to use the brush tip end if it's something that is kind of a bigger area like this one is. Now when you're doing the coloring, you want to use your brush tip end like a paint brush. So be careful not, if you come right down onto the paper, you're going to hurt that nib. And so you want to just kind of paint the color on. Be very light with your strokes. And then I'm going to paint that door as well. So I wasn't sure whether I was going to be doing all the coloring on here because it does take some time, but I thought I don't spend a lot of time doing coloring. So those of you who are not familiar, I thought it would be a good idea to just show you how easy it is to make something look fantastic with these Stampin' Blends. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually taking the light soft suede marker and I'm just outlining the little the tree lines, and then I think I'm actually going to color that door in a little bit more with the light. I want that door to be darker. So this time when I'm adding a shade in, I'm using the bullet nib, the smaller nib. I don't think I brought my dark soft suede in. I think I would want to put a little dark soft suede there, but if you go over it with the light several times, you can actually do nice shading. So that's a good tip. For those of you who want to start your collection of Stampin' Blends, and like I said, there are all kinds of colors. Not every Stampin' Up! Color, but there's a lot of different colors. But it's definitely an investment. So what I would recommend is just getting, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to take it back. Before you could get individual light and dark, and now you have to get them together. So never mind. I was going to say get the light versions and just wait for the dark versions, but that's not even valid anymore. Forget it. I forgot they're sold by the pair now, which is actually better because then you can have your shading all together. So this, I put some leaves in here with some light old olive, and I'll color in the grass. And then I'm actually going to just take the side of my marker here and just bring that grass way down. And you don't have to worry about the strokes of your marker too much because it all kind of blends together. Hence the name Stampin' Blends. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add some of that over here too. So what we're trying to do is bring that color down so that when we put this on it, it's going to fill up that oval. And it doesn't have, you don't have to be fancy about it. It really just looks really nice. And then I'm going to use just the tip of my pen just to add a little bit of texture, little grass peeking out here. And it's just a tone on tone, so it's not anything that's gonna really make a huge difference. So let me bring that closer to the camera so you can see just a little bit of wispy grass here and there. All right, what I didn't do when I was doing I started talking and I forgot to go back, and so I had light crumb cake and then I had the light soft suede. Now I'm gonna go back with a light crumb cake bullet tip and just kind of go over some of those darker lines just to feather out the dark stroke, to blend it into the light a little bit better. What I've been doing a lot of, I know, you know, you're gonna get these in pairs. You're gonna have a light crumb cake and a dark crumb cake, and those are great for shading, but I've been kind of venturing out, and like this is crumb cake and soft suede, using similar colors together, and it really brings in a whole new version of the color, a whole new selection, I guess. So now I'm going to color these little Christmas bulbs. This is Mango Melody, Dark Mango Melody. I'll make a couple of those. And also some light coming in from this window. I probably wanted to use a daffodil for that light, so it wasn't, there's kind of it's kind of a darker gold in there. It's candlelight, maybe. It's candlelight, right? Okay, then I also want, let's see, this is light shaded spruce. So they're holiday Christmas bulbs in some traditional Christmas colors. We have light real red next. Now, not every one of these cards is going to take as long as this one. I want to start out with this one because it does take a little bit longer than usual with all the different color combinations. Let's see. Some of these look alike here. The light smoky slate I'm going to use for the tops of these bulbs. All right, we're almost done. Then we have our, oops, that's the one I just got. Light gray granite is what I'm going to use for the little cobble pathway here. So So I'll color that in the middle. Again, you don't have to worry very much about the strokes. They really kind of blend in, which is why it's so awesome to use the alcohol-based markers. And then I'll use the dark gray granite to fill in the little pebbles, make those a little bit darker. And then also just add a little bit of depth to the side, a little bit of darker. So again, I'm just making that up. There's no image there. I'm just adding a little bit of scene to that. And it's really easy to, if you really wanted to build a whole scene around this, you could have extend the grass over, you could put some blue sky up there, you could extend the tree up a little bit farther. Lots of ways that you can extend that out. I see that I got a little, did you see that? I've had my finger obviously in my memento pad, which I tried not to do. So we're gonna use the other side. Maybe we'll do that. Nope, that looks bad too. We're gonna cover that up actually. We're gonna cover that up. It's perfect, it's in a perfect spot. So you got one there too. Anyway, hopefully you saw that. Did I bring it up close? So really, if you love to color, this is so relaxing and fun for me. I love to color. All right, let's start building this card. I have a card background here in real red, and it's just the 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I'm gonna put that on our background here with some Stampin' Seal. All right, so that'll be our card base. Then we're gonna need to pop this up a little bit with some dimensionals. So we'll flip this over and we're gonna start putting dimensionals everywhere. I love a recessed window, is one of my favorites as far as card styles. Okay, one more I think. I don't want this oval to droop, so I want to make sure I have enough going all the way around. Okay, we'll take these backing papers off. All right, that's a lot of dimensionals. Okay, then we're just gonna center this. Whoops, center that. If I could stop putting it down in the wrong place, there we go. So you can just kind of move that around. The piece that I was working on was just cut a little bit smaller, I think 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. That way I could just put it where I thought it was gonna work well, and then as I'm putting it on with the dimensionals, see it's not exactly centered, but if I would get a little bit overlap, you could just cut it off. It's not a big deal. All right, we're gonna add that to our card front. Rather than putting seal on the back of this, since it's all popped up, I'm going to put it right on my card front. Just make sure I don't go out to the very edge, because that edge is going to show. And then we'll add that. Now, we have a little bit more coloring to do. We want to color in this little guy, which is adorable. So this is fun. We're gonna color him with some real red, some old olive, some smoky slate, just a little bit of smoky slate. It's hard to keep track of all of these different colors. All right, smoky slate for his beard, just a little wispiness, just a little accent there. And then petal pink for his nose. This is dark petal pink. His little face here and his little hands. And then we'll start with his outfit. We're gonna start with light red, real red. And on this one, I'm gonna show you a little bit more of the shading and how you can really make the shading give depth to your images. And we're just gonna go back and forth with the red and the green on this hat. So again, light red we're using the brush tip end, light strokes. We don't want to mash that nib. And then we're going to go over. This is the dark real red, bullet tip end, a little bit of dark on each side, just right on the edges. And then you go back to your light color, and you can actually just go back and forth right over that line where those dark and light strokes meet, and it blends that right out. It's like you're erasing the harshness of the line. Whoops, I got a little bit on his beard. It's okay. Kind of looks like Dr. Seuss, doesn't it? All right, let's do the same thing with Old Olive. Fill in that with our Old Olive light. And while I'm here, I'm just going to brush in some of these little hollies. And then I'll take my dark bullet tip end, put a little bit of dark right on the edges here. I'm not even going to do anything to the tip there. Go back to the light bullet tip end, and then again, just kind of blend out that color, that harshness of that line. And it really does add a lot, just that little bit of extra, it's going to add a lot of dimension to, can you see how that's added a lot of dimension to that hat? I love how that looks. All right, let's fill this rest of this in. We're going to do a light red on our little ornament here. And I'm also going to do red for his shirt. It's like a gown. Are they in pajamas? I don't know. I don't know much about gnomes. Like I said, I wasn't a real big fan, but I definitely am a fan now. All right, you could do a little bit of shading with this as well if you wanted to. Just a little bit of dark on the sides, maybe even on the arm a little bit. It's really up to you. If you want it, I mean, the nice thing about it is you don't have to do the shading. If you just want to do the flat color, that looks great too. I'm going to add in a little matching Old Olive there, and I'm going to use the dark Old Olive for his little socks down here, or shoes. I don't know what they are. It looks like he has pajamas on. Maybe somebody can tell me. Do they wear pajamas as their normal attire? I don't know. All right, you guys. Now, the only unfortunate thing about the stamp set, we get so used to these bundles that we get a little bit spoiled. So when we have to fussy cut, sometimes we get a little irritated by it. But I'm telling you what, there's not a whole lot of cutting with this. So I'm just using my paper snips. The paper snips, you guys, if you don't have these, you should get some. They are super, 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 whoops, I forgot to color the bow. I'll have to do that. They're super sharp, and they're really easy to handle. As I'm doing this, you'll notice that I keep the blades pretty much in one direction, and I drive the paper. It's the paper that's moving, not necessarily the scissors. Do you see what I'm doing there? It makes it a lot easier to just, when you're trying to just get that little tiny white border around, it's easier on your hand. You're not doing a lot of this and that and cramping, and especially, you know, if it's already difficult for you to hold scissors because of arthritis or tendonitis. So you just keep that still and you drive the paper around it. So it doesn't really take a lot of time. It'd be great if there was a die. It really would, but you know, we can do it. We can do it. It's worth the effort when you see the result. All right. Get this one little tiny piece out here. Hopefully you guys can see all the cutting. All right, here's our little guy. Oh, isn't he so cute? I gotta put some color on that ribbon. Okay, so this is our little guy here. Now, we're going to add a little sentiment across here, and this is where I lucked out because I'm gonna put that sentiment right at the bottom there. And I already have that on my block. You'll notice this is what I've been doing lately. I put my sentiments, I flip them, so I just have them on one block. That makes it really convenient to use. I'm gonna use my memento. And this says, there's no place like Gnome for the Christmas season. I figured it's a home. It kind of sounds like the same kind of a sentiment that goes with a home. So we'll put that on here. We're gonna put just a little bit of seal right on the edge. Not over where your oval is. We don't want that. And then I'm gonna add that right along the bottom here. And then we'll also add a little seal. He's gonna go right here. So a little seal right along the edge. Some dabs there, and we'll just stick him right there. Oh, so cute. Now you might even want to put a little bit of Wink of Stella. If you like Wink of Stella, he'd be so fun to shimmer up. We're not gonna spend time doing that right now because we have a lot of other projects to get to, and we are already half hour in. Oh my goodness. We do have to add some bling. You just have to. Here's some just regular Rhinestone Jewels. A few of those, just to give it a little something something. All right, so here's our first card. I love it. I hope you guys really like that too. It's kind of fun with a lot of white as the contrast to a lot of beautiful coloring. Oh, wouldn't that, the lights back there, they totally need some Wink of Stella. We'll have to fix that up. So here's our first card. I'll show you a couple of my two cool versions. I did one in with shaded spruce and some blues. I thought that turned out really well. I love greens and blues, so that really was something I liked. I liked how I did the door a little bit better here too. And then I also tried it in a different direction. So I cut the oval out on the horizontal and put a longer strip across there, and I thought that turned out really cute too. I don't like it quite as well design-wise, but I still thought it was cute. All right, so this is the card that will be in your 5-card kit, which I don't even think I mentioned yet. We will have a 5-card kit with this Gnome for the Holidays set that you can earn for free with your $35 order at toocoolstamping.com. You got to use the host code, and if you have an order that's over $150, do not use the host code, but everything else must use the host code so that I know which kit to give you for free. All right, let's do the next one. The next one starts, we had white, now we're gonna go with black. So basic black for our card base. This one has this one goes clear out to the edge. So this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I have it already, I don't know if you can see that. The camera never picks this up very well. The winter snow, I believe it's called, embossing folder already on there. There, can you see it a little bit better? And I'm using the deboss side. I love that side. At the very bottom, I'm putting a couple strips of the seal because we're gonna put some of this gorgeous metallic mesh ribbon. Have you seen this? This is from the Halloween Magic in This Night suite. So it's Halloween based, and it's kind of spooky cobwebby, but it's silver. And so it's also awesome for winter projects. It kind of has a glimmery, snowy feel to it. So I loved it for this. I just put a little bit of seal behind there and wrapped it around. So we have just a little shimmer happening, and we'll add that to the card front. All right. This card is going to be a little bit faster. We do have some coloring, but it goes together much faster because it's not a whole scene. All right, the next layer we have here, I have a piece of the Trimming the Town designer series paper. It has all those cute houses, which I don't, like I mentioned earlier, I don't have the suite yet other than the paper, but it has such really cute patterns on the background. I thought I wanted to start with that, and so I thought I would try to use that for this project. I should actually show you, I should show you that paper. Let me go get the page in the catalog real quick because it's right here. Super cute paper. And again, this is on sale for the month of October. Lots of fun patterns, even if you don't get the stamp set and the dies that go with it, which are adorable. Haven't gotten those yet. That's over here. You can see a lot of those houses. Really cute. But they have lots of pretty stripy dots, snowflakey patterns that you can use for all kinds of projects, even if you don't want to use the houses. So I love that. All right, so we have that ready to go. That's our little background, and we're gonna go ahead and add that with some seal. You could pop this up if you wanted to, and I'll add that. Okay, next we're going to do our little stamp, and this time we're gonna use this little guy with a little snowflake hat on. Add him to our, this is the circle that was cut out of the other project. Did you notice that? So we have this, and this is what came out of it. How efficient is that? Okay, so we're gonna color this one with some blues. And again, I'm gonna mix and match this time. I'm gonna start with the light Seaside Spray. Brush on the color with the brush tip. This is going to go a lot faster than the others because there's not as much to color on this one. Then we're going to have the light Misty Moonlight that we're putting on the side of this. So this really darkens it up, but these two colors go so well together. I love it. Then I'm going to go back with the light Seaside Spray again and go over that harsh edge and just blend that out, smooth out that color. But this makes it a really nice contrast. There's a lot of light coming in on this hat. That's what it looks like. All right, next I want to have the light Misty Moonlight again. I'm gonna make his shirt in that color. There's just one little line, I didn't even realize it at first. That is his little outfit. And also the dark Misty Moonlight. I'm gonna do his little shoes down here, or socks, or whatever they are. All right, we're gonna add light soft suede to the little bell. It's a little bronze bell. Don't forget to add a little petal pink for his nose and his face and his hands. And then if you wanted to add some gray in his beard, you could do that. I'm just gonna leave it white, and I'm gonna pop him up with some dimensional. So you can see this one went a lot faster. Not a whole lot of coloring on this one, but so, so cute. Okay, we'll pop him up here, and then we just need a sentiment and some bling. I have a little 3/8 inch strip of smoky slate here, and I'm gonna add that, add a little sentiment to that. And I made it a really long strip just in case I needed to use the other side. Like, see, I knew that would be up a little too high. These are cling stamps. There we go, that's a little better. And so you can't see through them, which is okay. But I just like to give myself a little room there. Then I can just trim these away. I'll do the same in your kit so you can have some extra. You can flip it over, you can move it down to the other end, have some extra room in case you don't get it on the first mark. And then I'm doing this banner cutting where I go up the middle and then corner to center, corner to center. We'll just add a little bit of seal right across there and add this right at the bottom. And again, add a couple of dimensionals. I mean, not dimensionals. What are they? Rhinestones. Let's go down here. There we go. That picks up that really pretty shimmery silver at the bottom. I love that. It kind of looks like a wizard. So here is another card from your card kit. And let me show you the Too Cool version. Here is a more traditional colored one using that really cute little girl with the tree on her head, and I've decorated her with old olive for the tree, shaded spruce, real red, mango melody, decorated her outfit with real red and old olive. This is another pattern from the Trimming the Town designer series paper. I have a So Saffron little sentiment here, some red rhinestones this time. The background is Pear Pizzazz, and I have embossed that with the pine wood planks embossing folder. And then I wrapped it with the red, real red sheer ribbon from the mini catalog. So super cute. And you'll also be making that card in your card kit as well. I thought that was really, really cute. So that one will be a part of your card kit as well. So here we are so far. Then we have 2 more projects. All right, so the next one, I've got some parts and pieces done with this one already because I knew we were going to be running out of time. So this one starts out, it's a Mossy Meadow card base. This time I've cut, it's 1 inch shorter than a card. So it's 5.5 by 7.5, and then just also score it at 4 1/4 like you would a regular card. So it just has a shorter card front. I've already put in the middle where you write, that's 5 1/4 by 4, and then I put a little strip of the Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper across the top or across the bottom here. That is 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. Let me show you that paper real quick because that is really pretty as well. This is paper that goes with any kind of Christmas project. It's all the traditional colors, beautiful patterns, stripes, diagonal stripes, polka dots, just really fun. There's some houndstooth, really fun patterns in Mossy Meadow, Pear Pizzazz, Real Red, and Whisper White. So again, this one is on sale for the month of October as well. So check that out. So this is one of the pretty stripes, and I love using that as a little base on a card like this. All right, next we have, I'm just gonna put a little background on here. And this is a Pear Pizzazz piece. It is 5 1/2 by 2 5/8. And that goes across the top. Now, I really wanted to do a little section that has kind of these cute little gnomes peeking out. And I was looking for some ideas online. Sherry Roth from Stamped Treasures, I think it was called. But she had a really good tip on how you could make little peeking, little holes for them to peek out of. So this is another piece of the Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper. Isn't that cute? I love that one. But we're going to use this polka dot side with the Mossy Meadow. We're going to punch 3 holes in here, and I'm going to show you how you can really easily line those up. So I just have a little ruler. This is 5 1/2 by 2 1/2. I'm just going to go in and do a little tick mark at the halfway point. So that's 1 1/4 on that side, and just put it anywhere, and 1 1/4 on this side. Then I'm going to go in from the side and measure 1 inch in. I'm going to put a little tick mark there. And then also 1 inch in on this side, a little tick mark there. All right, so that gives me an idea of where I want to aim with my 1.5 inch punch. So we're going to line this tick mark, just kind of center that, eyeball it, and punch. So pretty good. It's not going to be perfect. It depends on how good you can eyeball. But we're going to eyeball this other tick mark here. And then I'm going to use my pen just one more time and just again eyeball in between the centers here. I want it to be kind of centered in there. So it's not really technical. I didn't want to get too technical because I didn't want you to feel like you couldn't just do it real quick. You don't have to spend a lot of time if they're not completely lined up perfectly. It's okay. So here is our little windows that we're going to peek out of, and we're just going to tack this down. We want to be able to put our little characters inside the windows, so I'm just going to tack it down in between each of the circles. Whoops, got away from me. And then I'm going to center that in there. All right, now we're just going to do some assembly here because I have already colored. This is another one that takes a little bit of time to color, but I took all 3 of those characters and colored those in with some traditional reds and greens. And now I'm just going to add those to my little peekaboo windows here. So this one, I'm just going to have him, I'm just going to go straight. You could actually make him go to the side or however you want to, but I'm just going to tuck him in there, which means I didn't even need to color his feet. They're all going to be covered up. So keep that in mind when you're coloring. You don't need to color all of it depending on how much you want to peek out. So again, I could have her peeking out in a different way. I'm just going to go all straight on this one. Isn't that adorable? I love it. And then this one, can you see what I did? I just cut this little ornament just a teeny bit, and I'm gonna have part of him on the inside and part of him. Let me put just a little bit of seal on there. It's hard to do a little dab sometimes. There we go. You could also use a glue dot if you wanted to. So I'm gonna stick him in there, but his little ornament is gonna hang out. Isn't that cute? All right. So fun. How fun is that? So again, that'll take a little bit of time to do all of the coloring, but if you love to color, it's something that's kind of fun to do. Just sitting in front of the TV or whatever. I've already stamped a little sentiment here on a 3/4 inch strip of Whisper White and then banner cut the edges. And then I'm just gonna put, let's see, kind of like it over here. Just put it right here. Holly jolly everything. Isn't that adorable? So you're going to be making this card as well in your 5-card kit. And I'll have all of these already punched for you, so you won't have to do that part of it. You'll just have to do the coloring and peeking of those little guys out. So let me show you the other 2 cool version. I did one with a different paper from the same Heartwarming Hugs designer series paper pack. And again, see how I kind of popped him out over here? This time I put him with dimensionals on the front, which I thought that was kind of fun, so that the background circle just gives it a little bit of a highlight, but he popped right out of his little peeking hole. So I thought that was fun. I left this blank down here and moved the sentiment up with some dimensionals too. So I thought those 2 were really, really cute. Okay, you guys, my favorite one is last. I don't always, but a lot of times I have the best for last. We'll see. So this is a gift card holder, and it's super, super easy and quick. So I'm starting out with a Mossy Meadow piece of cardstock. It is 11, so just the full length of the cardstock by 2 3/4. And then I've scored it at 3 3/4, 7 3/4, and 8. So I have 3 score marks on there, 3 3/4, 7 3/4, and 8. Now I'm just gonna fold those and burnish those really well. We want to have nice crease on all of them. Make sure that when you burnish them that they're nice and lined up so that it folds and lays nicely. Sometimes if you just fold it, it doesn't always fold straight. So make it go straight and then put your crease in. So here is our little wallet basically. See how this, do you see how this doesn't lay right? That's when we have to go back in and do a little extra crease here. We're gonna make that lay right. There we go, it's a little bit better. Let's do this crease as well. We want it to lay nice and flush. There we go, that's better, much better. Okay, let's decorate. So we're using some of the Heartwarming Hugs again. So this piece will go on the outside here, and then we have some pieces that go on the inside. But before we do that, we want to punch and make this some rounded corners. So we have the Detailed Trio punch, and there's 3 different ones you can use. We'll use the rounded corner. Just stick that in flush all the way. Sorry, it's moving the camera, I think. Can't hardly get away from that. So all 4 corners here. Then we're also going to do 2 of the corners for the Designer Series paper so that that will fit nicely on that flap. And then also, let me think. Then I also want this small piece. Excuse me. All right. Now the thing I love about this paper, you can choose, of course, it's Stampin' Up! Paper. You can choose what side that you want to have it on. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put this side on my front, the striped side. So we'll put that right here. And this is 2 5/8 by 2 7/8. And then this flap goes, what did I do? Here we go, like this. This flap is going to go here, but before we do that, whoops, right up here. Before we do that, we need a little slot for our gift card. We're going to use the classic label punch. This is so handy. You're going to slide that larger flap all the way down so that it's clear down into the punch. You're going to line it up on the side so it's nice and flush. And then you're going to punch. Oops, I don't know if I have it lined up. Let's do it again. There we go. Then we're going to punch. Now, before you take it out, you're just going to slide that over just a tad because we need this hole to be just a little bit bigger for our gift card. So just a little tiny piece, pop that out, and then again with the other side. So on this side, just a tiny bit over here as well. All right. Then we'll have this piece decorated. I'm just a little bit off there. It's okay. You can do a little bit of trimming if you get it off a little bit. The other thing is, I'll show you on my Too Cool version how you can fix it a second time around. Anyway, I'll show that to you in a minute. That doesn't even make sense until I show it to you. Okay, so we have this piece. We're going to use this side on the inside. And we'll decorate that. So this paper is going on both sides of our little slot here. Just barely fits in there. So now we have this cute little wallet, and we're going to pop up this side with a couple of dimensionals. So just stick that right on the corners there. And fold that back. And then we have a nice little pocket for our gift card, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. Let's decorate the front first. I have already done my stamping of this cute little girl gnome, and I'm going to pop her up. I have her cut out with the Stitch Shapes dies again. This is a smaller oval than the one we've already used for the other project. I'm going to flip her over because this is how I want it positioned, and I don't want to get a dimensional too far down. So we'll make sure that we don't. And then we'll put this right on the front. Oops. All right, and then just a quick, let's see, we'll use a little Christmas wish sentiment, little memento black on that, stamped on Whisper White, and then we'll punch that out again with the classic label punch. And then we'll use some mini dimensionals with this one. It's kind of skinny. So we'll put several of those on there. I just love how quick and easy this is. This is just a basic card, gift card holder design that you can decorate any way you want to with whatever stamp set that you have. And it's just so simple. Any sentiment, any... just really quick to decorate any way you want to. That's so, so cute. This is where I'm going to just put a little bit of Wink of Stella on this tree to just make it, woo, pop. I totally recommend Wink of Stella on everything. And maybe her dress is a little bit shimmery underneath her apron. So cute. A little bit on the holly. Ah, love it. You could put some rhinestones on there if you wanted to. So let me show you how the gift card works. You have just a gift card, just pops right in there. Isn't that handy? I love it. Folds down, so adorable. I did another one here, this is the same paper. So this is the project you're gonna be having in your 5-card class. And so you can pick to have either the red up here or the green background. You can flip it however you like. I liked the red background because she had a lot of green here. And then for the green background, I made sure he had lots of red. But I made him nice and shimmery too. Can you see the shimmer? I love those. So, so cute. Here's what the inside looks like with your little gift card inside. Adorable, adorable. I also did another version in, this was with the Heartwarming Hugs paper. I also did one with the Trimming the Town paper. So this one could even be a wintry birthday. This says, you're a friend like no other. That sentiment just barely fits in that classic label punch shape. And then I colored that with the misty moonlight like we did on the other card. And then for this one, you'll see that I have the paper going all the way through. You can actually, once you get the background, the cardstock on, you can put the paper on and then go back and repunch and make that shape with a whole piece of paper. I am not going to do that for your project, just simply because that would mean I would have to do that for everyone's. So I just gave you the 2 pieces so that you can just have one above and below, and that looks just really nice too. So, all right, so that is our last project. Let me get all of the projects out here that will be in your kit. So we have these. And then also our little peekaboo and our little gift card holder here. So you're going to get all of the parts and pieces. Let me put this guy. I want this guy on there. We can get all the parts and pieces for these 5 different projects when you place an order with me between now and October 28th of 2020. Remember, it needs to be a minimum $35 order, and you need to use the host code TJCC DYFK that'll be on the checkout page. So place that order by October 28th and I will send you all the parts and pieces. You'll need to have, of course, all the Stampin' blends, but the nice thing about it is whichever Stampin' blend colors that you have, as long as you have some reds and greens of some shade, you're going to be doing really well. So you can mix and match whatever colors that you have, make it your own. You can use the other sides of the papers if you want to. Lots of versatility here. I hope you guys have really enjoyed these projects as much as I enjoyed creating them. I had so much fun coloring. It really is a relaxing, creative thing to do. It kind of brings you back to your childhood, don't you think? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the projects, and I hope that you place an order and get that kit for free. Once you place the order, I will be sending those out just a couple of days after. So I think it's October, let's see, 30, 29, 30, 30, it'll be Halloween. So I'll be sending these out on Halloween. Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to spend it with me and being creative. I really do appreciate it. If you need anything, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm always happy to help you out. So please just let me know if you ever need assistance with an order. All right, everybody, I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to stamping with you again next Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Until then, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Bye-bye.